Hey guys, thanks for watching. Today's video is something I have been wanting to do for ages, but I didn't really know if people would want to watch it until recently, of course, when pretty much everyone has been doing these. It's a product review slash wear test, and this is for the new NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. Personally, I love watching videos like that. I find them so helpful. I'm going to be applying it, giving you my first impression, what I think of the foundation, as well as showing you it in different lighting and throughout the day to see how it wears. So if you were wondering why my face currently looks splotchy and uneven, because I haven't applied the foundation yet, of course. So this foundation just recently launched, and I believe it was a collaboration with YouTuber Alyssa Ashley. She's a gorgeous, super talented YouTuber, and she helped them create the shade range, I believe. So this foundation is available in 45 shades, which is amazing. Unfortunately, something I see so disgustingly often working in the makeup industry is a really just horrific range of shades available. Companies will launch 10 different shades of freaking white bread Wanda and then 2 pathetic excuses for dark shades. So I was really happy to see a wide range of shades available, ranging from fair to very deep. Now, speaking of the shade range, some people were complaining that they didn't think the fair shades were light enough. After seeing and looking at these in person and swatching a few of the shades, I will say they look very deceiving in the bottle. And I'm pretty pale, so I grabbed the second or third shade in the range. So I initially grabbed the shades Fair and Alabaster because that's usually where I am with the foundation line, and they were so light on my skin. They were way too pale for me, which is a good thing because that means there are colors for very pale skin. I really do encourage you to go and swatch them in person if you can, because I promise they look way different on the skin and do show up a lot lighter and like paler on the skin than they look in the bottle. This, for example, is the shade Nude 6.5, I believe it is. Do you see how dark this looks? This looks very dark and very yellow in the bottle. Does match my skin pretty well. There are 9 shades lighter than this one. So if you are paler than me, I mostly guarantee you should be able to find a shade pale enough for you. The shades available for deep skin and darker skin tones are also amazing. I really think they did a great job with this shade collection. So this is described as a full coverage foundation. NYX says it is lightweight, waterproof, pigmented AF. This full coverage foundation hustles as hard as you do. It's described as a comfortable formula with a smooth matte finish, 24-hour wear that works to control shine and mattify your complexion all day. I'm not going to be using a primer this time. I want to see how the foundation... Rude. I really just want to try it as many different ways as I can, get a real feel for it, and let you guys know if it is a hit or a miss. I'm gonna try applying it both ways with a sponge. This is the Morphe sponge, and a brush. This is the IT Cosmetics Love is the foundation brush. These are 2 of my most used methods of application. I love a beauty sponge. This, Beauty Blender, Real Techniques, whatever you want to use. Like I said, I do have moisturizer on, but I will not be applying a primer first. To start, I'm going to take just a small amount of the foundation at a time and work that in with brush. And tap it in with my finger. Okay, it doesn't actually look as dry as I thought it would. I'm gonna apply a little bit more. So I haven't applied too much yet, but so far it does seem like it's blending out very easily. It's completely evened out my skin. It's covered pretty much everything that I want it to cover. You can see the difference. I have one little tiny patch here that looks a smidge dry, but barely. I'm actually just feeling it. I don't feel like I need to put powder on. So I'm going to zoom you in so you can see the difference that this has made. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply the other side now. Going in a bit more liberally and smoothing it over with my fingers. So a sponge definitely shears out the coverage a little bit. So I can definitely say it is a buildable formula. I think if you go in with a thicker amount initially, you will definitely get more coverage. I've applied it quite in a thin layer. I noticed just a teeny bit of dryness on my nose. I do feel the brush did a bit of a quicker job in applying and blending it out than the sponge. The sponge I needed to take a bit more time with. So far based on my application, I would consider it more of a medium to full buildable foundation rather than super full coverage right off the bat. But my first impression of this foundation is very positive. I do really like how it looks. Doesn't feel heavy or itchy or uncomfortable or anything yet. So that is what it looks like. I am actually really impressed with this so far. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my face makeup and then I will be right back. So I did not set the foundation with any powder. I did use like my highlighter and blush over top. As it's kind of been sitting on the skin, I do definitely think it feels really comfortable still. The blush and highlighter did blend over nicely. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm liking how it's looking overall. My skin doesn't look overly dry, but it does look a little dehydrated just in my inner cheek area. It is currently 12:23 p.m. I will update you guys in a few hours. Okay, so it is currently 5:50 p.m. It's a bit more textured in person than it appears on camera. Specifically like this area here, I notice a little bit more dryness, but I am really happy with how it's looking and how it's holding up. I am not shiny, I'm not oily or anything so far, which is awesome. Whew. Okay, it is currently 12:26 a.m. Now, the foundation itself, it still looks good. I mean, it's definitely not perfect. I personally would like to touch up by this point. I think around the 8-hour mark, I was like, I could do with the touch up. It hasn't like melted and smudged or anything like that. There's barely oil on my skin, but just a teeny bit that has broken through right in this area. My forehead is still pretty matte. It's just this area here that is a bit shiny. I don't personally mind that look, but I would prefer to take, I ate dinner and everything and it rubbed off a little bit on my chin as I was wiping the food that I spilled because I am messy. But for 12 hours, I am truly shocked at how good it still looks. I'll zoom you in. So like by this point, my eyeshadow is faded. It's creased a little bit in here. Got some creases under my eyes. That's to be expected. But the foundation itself, like you can see, it is a bit shiny throughout here. Otherwise, it's holding up very well. I am very impressed that it hasn't settled into my little fine lines on my forehead. Most foundations do that to me. I am extremely pleased about that. So to recap, I did not use a primer and I did not use a setting powder today. I have had this on my skin for about 12 hours or so. No, I did not touch up with powder and I did not use a blotting sheet. Now, to be fair, I do not live in a very tropical, humid climate. If you live somewhere like Florida, Hawaii, you may need to touch up throughout the day. But for 12 hours, I am insanely impressed with this foundation. I do have a little bit of shine that is breaking through in my T-zone nose area here. Other than wearing off a little bit around my nose and very slightly on my chin, it has not broken up. It's not gone patchy. Personally, I do not like wearing my foundation for this long. Even if a foundation claims to be 24-hour wear, I will not wear my foundation for 24 hours if I can avoid it. I strongly advise against wearing makeup for 24 hours. It's not ideal for your skin. It is really great to give your skin a break. If you're someone who is in school or work or both, or works 12-hour shifts, for example, this is a fantastic foundation to try if you're looking for something long wearing. If you have dry skin, prone to flaking, patchy, dry textures, I would not recommend this foundation. It is not designed for dry skin. You will likely not be happy with the finish that you get if you have dry skin. Those with dry skin or perhaps more mature skin, or anyone looking for a really radiant, healthy, glowy finish, this is not the foundation for you. That being said, this is a great foundation in my first impression. If you're looking for a foundation that is going to give you buildable coverage, whether it's medium to full, it's going to blend out nicely and it's going to stay in place all day with very minimal touch-ups or no touch-ups required, I would would definitely give this one a try. Any fans of the Estee Lauder Double Wear? I know that one is very popular. Personally, I think this formula is way better. And NYX is cruelty-free, Estee Lauder is not. On an everyday basis, I don't know if this would be my everyday foundation just because I usually like to keep it really light, really natural. But anytime I'm wanting a bit more coverage or I'm wanting my foundation to stay in place all day and I don't have to worry about it, I would definitely use this one again, and I will be using it again for sure. I will be trying this over top of a primer. I'll try a hydrating and an illuminating primer to see if that gives me a bit more radiance, because this is a very mattifying foundation for sure. I think if I powder with a very fine powder like the Hourglass loose powder or the Liz Watier loose powder, I think that would help keep this shine that I got here much more in check. So I will definitely update you guys with that. I will likely be doing a blog post for this video as well, in which I will include all of my updated thoughts and tips and tricks, so definitely check that out. If I had to rate this, so far based on my first impression, I would probably give this 7.5 out of 10. If you guys have tried this foundation or are curious about it, definitely let me know. I'd really love to know your thoughts on it, if you will be trying it, if it's a hit or a miss for you. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I had so much fun doing it. I would definitely like to do more of these videos in the future, so let me know which foundations you're curious of. Also, definitely make sure you check out my blog for free wallpapers that I make every month. If you enjoyed this video, definitely hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hello?
Hello?
There may or may not be a monster in my house. If you don't hear from me anymore, it's been real.